user first scans the model to be printed with a smartphone. Once the scanned model is turned into a 3D dimensional image, one can freely adjust the size, thickness and other features as needed. Final touches are made through a simulation screen, and the final product is completed by simply printing the model out. Korean researchers have developed this technology so that anyone can easily use 3D printing. Earlier, dozens of cameras were required to photograph a model from multiple angles spanning 360 degrees in order to create 3D imagery. But with the new technology, anyone can produce unique creations using 3D printing, as scanning is possible with simple devices like smartphones. Sin Hong-hyung from 3D Printing Research Organization said people don't easily throw away phones that include their own designs. Younger people these days gear toward new self-customized materials and products. The researchers plan to disclose the technology to the general public and distribute it to select schools to be used as educational material. This necklace, tagged around the pet dog, includes a sensor to check its health condition. The device notifies the owner via smartphone of how much the dog has moved and how much energy it spent while the owner was not around. Jong Bo-yoon from Yongsan District, Seoul, said it's great that she can check through a smartphone app the activities her dog is engaged in and at which times. Now there's also less worry about feeding pets. Using a smartphone app connected to the feeder, people can feed their pets at any time while they're outside. In this case, the owner can also check if the cat is actually eating through a security camera. Overseas, a gadget that allows the owner who is out of the house to play with their pets that are at home has been introduced. A smartphone is used to steer the laser pointer at home. Korea's companion animal or pet market is forecast to reach some $5.3 billion by the year 2020. That is why development of related IT products is swiftly underway. Iran has launched the 15th edition of its International Electricity Exhibition, which is attended by representatives of hundreds of Iranian and foreign companies active in the field of power generation. The event was kicked off in Tehran on Sunday by Minister of Energy Hamid Chichian. Addressing the inaugural ceremony of the exhibition, Chichian said Iran's power industry has greatly progressed through recent years, and at present its products are being used in 36 countries as parts of their power distribution networks, power plants and transmission lines. He added that boosting cooperation between Iranian and foreign companies in order to promote the quality of domestic energy industry products is the main goal of the exhibition. Chichian said Iran's energy industry is mostly reliant on domestic products and services, but contacts with other countries will prevent Iranian power industry from becoming stagnant. The Iranian minister, however, noted that in order for Iranian power industry to be competitive at international level, it must engage in exchanges with international companies active in the field. He also stated that existence of suitable laws supporting generation of renewable forms of energy in Iran has caused Iranian and foreign producers to be enthusiastic about getting involved in this field. This year's edition of Iran's International Electricity Exhibition was held at Tehran International Fairgrounds and were attended by representatives of 541 domestic and foreign companies, including 200 foreign firms and 341 Iranian firms. The high figure of foreign attendance in this year's exhibition stands in stark contrast to last year, when only 110 foreign companies took part in the exhibition. Major countries that have sent their companies to Tehran's Electricity Expo include South Korea, Turkey, China, Germany, Spain, Hong Kong, the United States, Sweden, the Czech Republic, Japan, Switzerland, Canada, Belgium, Taiwan, the United Arab Emirates, Ukraine, Slovenia, India, the Netherlands and Finland. This year's exhibition was held over an area of 25,000 square meters, in which participants presented standard products. An international boat show, the first and only boat show exhibition, was organized on the sea in Turkey recently. It brought distinguished sea lovers from around the world together under a single roof every year and is preferred by thousands of industry professionals and rich boat lovers. Nasriddin Imam Guliyev, a 65-year-old Azerbaijani who lives in Kusar city of Azerbaijan, has been working to build a helicopter for himself for 6 years. Imam Guliyev said following the separation of the Soviets, he is trying to find an activity for himself. He has achieved to run the propeller, but he still can't take off. He collected the pieces from 15 different cars. He's very decisive on it to make it go aloft. The Museum of Lovers in Amasya has been visited by 500,000 people since the beginning of the year. A museum dedicated to lovers who could not unite in this world has been established with an inspiration from the story of Ferhat and Azirin around the aqueduct that Ferhat opened by drilling Elma Mountain for his love, and there people can meet all kinds of love, from divine love to folk singers or to Romeo and Juliet. The museum tells of great love stories in history and has drawn lots of visitors from abroad and even foreign countries since it was first opened. The museum that has been established on the foothills of the mountain, which Ferhat drilled a hole to come together with his love, is where the two lovers are rumored to have been buried. This is rumored that each spring 2 roses bloom on the graves, one red and one white, and that a thorn grows in between these 2 roses whenever they are about to come together. In addition, divine love is also narrated with the philosophies of Mevlana and Hacı Bektaş Veli, both scholars and theologians. The museum consists of 8 sections. In each section there are 3D models and pictures. This visitor said he works abroad, but he frequently visits his country. He saw this place and he wanted his wife and children to see the place too. A woman visitor said she lives here, but this is her first visit. She suggests everyone, especially lovers, to visit the museum. This male visitor said Ferhat drilled the mountain for his love. He did everything for his love. Uzbekistan International Center is a symbolic building representing people of various nations and ethnic groups living in the country. The center regularly organizes festivals, contests and concerts. These activities are aimed at strengthening the tolerance and mutual understanding, as well as friendship between the representatives of 130 nations and nationalities making up the population of Uzbekistan. Recently, a festival showcasing the works of national handicraft and masters of art was held at one of the recreation parks located in the capital city. Kiva is one of the old cities of ancient Khorasan, the pearl of Eastern Middle Age architecture. Kiva lies 25 kilometers south of present-day Urgench. According to legends, Kiva was founded by a son of Noah, Shem, when he dug a well in the middle of the desert. People who drank water from that well exclaimed as Kavak, which roughly means sweet water. And this area became a caravan destination because of merchants' frequent visit. For the next 1,000 years, the area was inhabited by several tribes that used the Amu Darya River for irrigated agriculture. According to the archaeologists, Kiva was founded in the 5th or 4th centuries BC. As the major structures were built, the city became known as the trading post on the Silk Road. First written sources date from the 10th century. The Arab traveller Al-Istaki mentioned Kiva among the 30 important cities in Khorasan. The Arab geographer Ibn Battuta visited Kiva in the 14th century. He praised the ruler's untiring care of law, order, and reported that the city was so full of people that it was almost impossible to find one's way in the crowd. The city was divided into two parts in the 19th century. Ichan Kala, inner city with 10 meters high walled, and Dishan Kala, outer city. At the same time, the entire city was surrounded by several settlements and villages. Ichan Kala has 6 to 8 meters high, 6 to 7 meters wide, and 2.2 kilometers long city wall. It covers 26 hectares area of Kiva. As other fortresses in Central Asia, the city walls were built out of sun-baked bricks. The city walls were destroyed several times, but they were always reconstructed. The city, rectangular in shape, 650 meters by 400 meters, and has 4 gates facing the 4 sides of the world. Ichan Kala was a site for the Khan's palace. High officials, clergy, and rich merchants lived there. The ordinary people, small merchants and craftsmen, lived in Dishan Kala. Dishan Kala, the outer city, was built in 1842 by the order of Allah Kuli Khan by volunteer workers in 30 days. It was one of the government taxes that every citizen of the Khanate had to work for the government free of charge for 12 days. This was called Bega. About 200,000 people constructed the walls of outer city. A famous historian of Kiva Akia gave evidence about the construction in one of his works.
Yes, this is my first visit to Uzbekistan. We've only been to Tashkent so far, and now Kiva, and I'm really impressed by the city here. It's really unique, and I've never seen something like this before.
It's a very beautiful city. Not only inside the fort, outside the fort I think it's beautiful. But sometimes I think it's very, very beautiful and it's a little bit artificial, you know? So many beautiful and a little bit artificial, but we like a lot. And I hope the next cities, Samarkand, Bukhara, Shakrisab, are beautiful too. And the country, I think, are good people, no problems with the people. I recommend all the people from Barcelona, from Catalonia, come to Uzbekistan to visit. It's a nice place.